What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show, Jamming with J Money. Another special episode, obviously, the NBA draft. Today, we're going to talk about the winners and losers. We're going to talk about some surprises for some teams that we didn't expect to get a certain player, and we'll also talk about some trades and trade rumors as well, guys. How was your day yesterday, Jordan? Everything good with you, brother?
Everything is good. Yeah, if you watched the show, I would have recommended making you some money. So hopefully some of you guys did that, especially earlier when I wrote up those plays for SBR a few weeks ago. The 1, 2, 3 was pretty much as soon as we as exactly what we thought it would be. From there were definitely some surprises down through the end of the lottery from 4 through 14. But I mean, in the end, I mean, we were all kind of pretty. A lot of us, I think, all three of us made some pretty good projections. I know Junior's probably going to talk up Killian Hayes going 7th. That was I think a pretty good pick for the Pistons. There's just a lot of uncertainty, like we were talking about yesterday. But still, I think a lot of teams are pretty happy with who they got. I'm questioning a few teams though in the lottery here, which I'm sure we'll get into in just a second. But overall, it's a pretty speedy draft too, which was nice. Didn't have to stay up super late to watch the whole thing if you wanted to. And the first round ended, I think, around 10 o'clock, so that was good. But yeah, hopefully some of you guys followed some picks and you made a little money on it yesterday.
Exactly. What about you, Junior? Everything good with you, bro? You down in Miami now, man? You warm over there? You good?
Yeah, it's nice and hot. It's weird. The draft was interesting, I guess. I love that pick for Detroit. I like to see when teams, like Detroit, who are just absolutely horrible, make a ton of moves and just, try to clean house and just get some fresh blood in there. They started that process last year by getting rid of Drummond, the most overrated big man probably in the NBA. Not to say that he's bad, but his skill set just doesn't really translate to the amount of money that he gets paid. But that's a whole nother conversation. The Hornets took the best, the most talented player available, which was LaMelo, which I didn't think they would do because I just didn't think Mike would want to take that risk. But good for him for taking the best available player. I will say that Terry Rozier better be talking to his real estate agents. Yeah. Get that luggage ready. Get that real estate agent ready because you moving, son. You on the way out. I don't know who's gonna want to pay him all that money. That's a whole other conversation. They might have to sell him for 50 cents on the dollar, but I just don't see how there's room for those 3 guards because Devontae Graham showed me too much to get rid of.
He's the best player on the team right now. You see him like when you can tell when the player's the best player on the team. Like when they come out with new jerseys and stuff, you see Devontae Graham out there. You don't see and I really feel like Terry Rozier's getting paid like he was supposed to be the best player over there. Like I said, it's a whole nother conversation. We did touch on it a little bit yesterday, but yeah, Terry he's probably gonna go to a place like the Pistons or Knicks, somebody that needs them. They don't mind spending that money because they just need some type of mini star, just a name that somebody knows or something, man. But we definitely gonna get into it. But yeah,
I want to say one more thing though.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of disappointed that Halliburton went to such a crappy organization like the Kings because they're just a bunch of clowns in Sacramento. But he's gonna make De'Aaron Fox's life a whole lot better. So hopefully, your favorite coach, Luke Walton, figures out how to use him properly.
Man. You talk about selling somebody 50 cents on the dollar. I'm selling him. You know what? You can have the money. You get your ass. Walton got to go, man. But I'm with you on that. The Kings, they had to take stuff more serious, man. They definitely had to take stuff more serious. But that was what I wanted to come into, man. The surprises. That was my main surprise. The fact that he dropped all the way to 12. So I mean, it's a good fit for the Kings. I know he was sitting there at home like, damn, when is somebody gonna pick me? Because if you guys were watching on the latest mock draft, he was up to as high as 4 on there, like as far as like the best players available or whatever. So I mean, it would have been interesting to see if the Bulls or somebody would have taken him. But I can't say at first I was like, they already have Fox over there. But then when you really think about it, you have those two get to going on a fast break, that's gonna get ugly there, man. So I'm a fan of sometimes the players can kind of override the coach, but when you get to like the playoffs or so like that, we know the Kings aren't really a playoff team, but that's when it would really get to biting them in the butt, the fact that Walton's still their coach. But during the regular season, the players can somewhat overcome a bad coach. We'll see though. But what, Jordan? I know that was one of your surprises. Did you have another surprise, or was Halliburton? We know we were both surprised by that one.
I just wanted to say that yesterday I think I pretty much explicitly asked Junior if he's saying that Killian Hayes should be drafted over Tyrese Halliburton, and I think we all agreed no. And I think Junior should have just said, hell yeah, I think Killian Hayes is going to get drafted over Tyrese Halliburton, because you would have looked pretty sharp today. But I mean, that was the biggest surprise to me. I think Halliburton falling out of the top 10 is, at least for the lottery, probably one of my biggest surprises. I would also say that Cole Anthony being 15th, I thought he would be a lottery pick. He was at one point, I think, probably considered one of the top 3 to 5 players in this class. Obviously, stock fell a little bit, but since then. But the Magic, I think, got a steal out of him. If you want to put them in the winners category, I think you could do that too. But that was a little bit surprising to me. And there was a few more in the first round, but nothing really crazy. And in the second round, I thought that maybe like a guy like Tyler Bay might have been in the first round. He slipped into the second. But other than that, I think the lottery outside of the top 3 was a little wacky, but it seems like the players ended up somewhere within 4 or 5 spots where most people were predicting them. But the Halliburton, Hayes over Halliburton thing, I thought for sure the Pistons were going to go Halliburton there. And they went Hayes, and I was like, well, Junior Brown needs to just mop that up as a win for sure.
Right. Yeah, I'm a little surprised by Obi Toppin as well that he dropped for. I mean, I really think that he's a damn good player. He, you know what I'm saying? His game really transcends to the NBA. Like, you can see that during college. Like, nobody could hold him, bro. It was like, all right, let's just stop half the season. Let him, you know what I'm saying, prepare for the draft. It's unfair that he's out here playing with these other college kids. So he actually could bring some spark to the Knicks. I mean, I don't know. It's tough for me to talk positive about the Knicks, but you know what I'm saying? I was surprised that Obi Toppin went that late or at 8. And I mean, I actually kind of like that selection, but the Knicks pretty much had to get him. He was the best player on the board there at that point. What you think about that, Junior?
Yeah, so my initial reaction to that was like, yo, why would the Knicks take why wouldn't the Knicks take a guard? Like, that team needs like competent guards. But then I really kind of thought about it, and first of all,
something just came up too. It say Elfrid Payton was waived by the Knicks. Talk about guards. It just came up on my phone.
Well, there you go. So no. What I was gonna say was, I'll tell you my reaction when I was talking to my homeboy. We're watching, Obi crying with his pops, and I was like, pops looked like he just came out the trap house, bro. I was like, Pops looked like he got it for cheap. Too. Hey,
Pops was gas, boy.
Hey, Pops looked like he got it for cheap. Man. But no, seriously. But in all seriousness, all jokes aside, when I thought about it some more, I was like, okay, so this is a guy who he's not a young guy. Again, I talked about this yesterday. There's some teams that have too many young guys, like no adults on the roster. He's a 4-year senior who's got a chip on his shoulder. You see, they said he wasn't really recruited in high school. Even up to 2 years ago, you really didn't know too much about this guy, especially when it comes to draft talk. He played himself into the draft. He built up his body. Man was saying he couldn't even really dunk until he was a senior in high school.
Yeah, but he grew like 8 inches, right? Like between his sophomore and senior year.
Yeah.
He got huge.
You know what I'm saying? So he's a guy who no one's really ever believed in him. And I feel like if you're going to go into New York, which is an impossible situation, you kind of need to have that chip on your shoulder. Like, you know what? I'm the underdog. I'm going to keep fighting and proving, because the New York crowd will take to you. They'll embrace you. If you play hard, that crowd, even if the team sucks, they'll embrace you. So I kind of thought about it, and I was like, you know what? He could score. He could shoot threes. He could play above the rim. He's going to play hard. He's tough. He's older. The pick actually makes sense for the Knicks now that I've had some time to think about it. So I actually don't mind the pick at all.
Obi Toppin with Mitch Robinson is going to be a nasty front court for many years to come for the New York Knicks.
Speaking of get your real estate agent ready, Julius Randle.
Yeah, he's already out there. Yeah, you know what? The Knicks they've been trying to get rid of him. I've been read about that. They were shot. He's another one that's getting shopped around everywhere, bro. I'm talking about he's a stocking stuffer right now. Julius Randle is. What was you gonna say, Jordan?
I was just gonna say, especially with Tibbs now, that they're gonna have a lot of shot blocking in New York City. Once fans get back, are gonna get pretty hyped about that. I forgot to mention one thing. One of the surprises. I don't know if you guys were surprised by this as well. There wasn't a whole lot of trades until like later later down the first round. We thought we were kind of gonna see a lot of teams like move up, and I just feel like the 7, 8, 9 Pistons, Knicks, Wizards. I think they made the right move by not moving up because they got 3 really good players who I thought at least 2 of them should have definitely been gone before they drafted in Hayes, Toppin, and Avidya. I think those 3 teams really, who are perpetually have been just dogged for a long time, especially the Knicks and the Wizards now for a while. I think all made really good picks, and I think we got to at least commend them as winners in this draft because I thought definitely Toppin and Avidya were going to be gone by the time those guys at 8 and 9 drafted.
Exactly. No, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. So what do you think? What would be some of your biggest surprises, Jordan? Somebody that was drafted to a team that you didn't quite think was there. I mean, I don't really think it's a bunch of kind of dry fits, in my opinion. That kind of guys are just after that top 3 guys just kind of selecting guys like. You know what I'm saying? After it was like the best on the board, they just like, we'll get somebody else try. But it's just something that Junior said that really stood out to me. The Knicks and the Cavs, they always, like I just said yesterday, they always stockpile all these young guys and expect it to work, man. I really think that's crazy, but I did like that one by Toppin. But any other surprises for you, Jordan, there in the like towards the later of the first round there?
I'll tell you one at the beginning of the first round. I think the Bulls reached for Patrick Williams. I'm going to give the new regime there of the benefit of the doubt. That was one of the biggest surprises to me, I think, of the entire lottery. I don't think anybody in anybody's mock draft or really anybody in the media was talking about Patrick Williams outside of Casey Johnson, who yesterday or the day before yesterday on Tuesday night wrote an article about how the Bulls were just enamored with Patrick Williams, and so far that proved to be true. The dude averaged 9 points a game, though, so I mean, there's going to be a lot of question marks of going into how much if the Bulls didn't reach, and it could have grabbed another player like an Obi Toppin or a guard or something like we were talking about yesterday. I mean, other than that, the lottery was pretty steady. The back end of the draft, I think one thing a little bit surprised about, I thought Precious Achiuwa and Sadiq Bey would have went a little higher. That was a little surprising, but the rest of those guys, I would say, probably fell pretty. Malachi Flynn maybe could have went. I thought he would maybe the lower 20s, but other than that, those were probably the other 3 guys that I was just a little surprised by. I think definitely Junior can probably talk a little more about Sadiq Bey and whether or not that's going to be a good fit for him with the Nets. But other than that, and then we talked about like Tyrese Halliburton and stuff like that already, Cole Anthony. So I wouldn't say there's too many surprises, but like you were just talking about, I think teams started really, because of the unknown, they started moving more for need than for the best player available, and that allowed some of these guys to drop. So that might explain some of that.
Exactly. Yeah, Junior, boy, I was surprised as well to see Bey go that late. And I mean, he went to a pretty good team. I know if it's me sitting there in the draft room, it's kind of 2 sides to it. You dig what I'm saying? It's like, all right, look, I want to go high, but then I'm gonna be on a sorry team. You see what I'm saying? Or I could wait late, then I'm gonna be on a good team. I'm gonna be learning from actually good players. So I feel like Bey really kind of won going to the Nets. I mean, boys got KD and Kyrie. Now they was kind of shopping Kyrie there for just a split second to the Heat, but we'll get to that towards the end. But real quick, Junior, I wanted to say they got Tibbs got rid of his boy Taj Gibson and Wayne Ellington, both of them waived by the Knicks there. I know that Gibson, that was his boy over there in Chicago, so that was a little surprise to me to see they come up. But what do you think about your guy Sadiq Bey, Junior?
I think if I'm Sadiq Bey, I mean, I'm ecstatic, bro. I mean, I get to be Kevin Durant's understudy like that. You're going to play against this guy every day in practice. Mm-hmm. You're just going to get better by default. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Plus, when you play on a team that has expectations, again, you're either going to sink or swim, right? So if he could be successful on a team that's going to be competing in the playoffs, that's only going to give him more value to other teams as he keeps moving on in his career, whether he stays on the Nets or he goes somewhere else. So if you're him, bro, like, you went to Villanova. You mentioned it yesterday. They got a culture where they breed their teams to compete for championships. And I think that he's moving from one championship organization. I wouldn't call the Nets a championship organization, but I would say that they have championship aspirations. So for him, that's amazing. I want to circle back to something that Jordan said. Cole Anthony could be the steal of the draft if you're Orlando.
Great pick.
Because if you're Orlando, you need a good point guard. Like, what's his name from Texas? I always forget his name, man. Kevin Durant's old college teammate.
DJ Augustine.
Yeah, DJ Augustine. DJ Augustine's all right, but he's a backup point guard.
He's getting older too. He's getting older.
Yeah, exactly. So you need somebody that can step in and be the future. And Cole Anthony's a bucket. Like before he got injured, he and realistically, I've seen him play a lot of games for North Carolina. He just had to do too much because his team sucked, bro. That team is garbage.
Then he got injured like 3
and
games
refused to stop playing. He could have just shut it down, and he kept going. So you got to have a lot of respect for him. You know what I mean? His dad is a former NBA player, national champion. Tough guy, played for the Knicks teams that used to go against Jordan and them. So he's got the pedigree. I'm happy for him, though, that he gets to go into a situation where the team is like a borderline playoff team, right? There's somewhere between like a 7 and 10 seed. So he's going to be playing on a pretty good team, getting good minutes. We might see a lot from Cole Anthony next season for sure.
I'm a big fan of Cole Anthony, man. Big fan. I'm a fan of North Carolina Tar Heels. I was a fan of him. I was pissed when he went down. It was a down year for them already, but I like that. You're exactly right, Junior. Everything you said is pretty much spot on. The Magic really needed him. We know that it's between DJ Augustine and the other guy. I can't think of his name right now. Came from the 76ers working on this shot, but y'all know who I'm talking about.
Oh, Markelle Fultz.
Fultz, yeah. I was going to say Frazier because I knew it started with an F, but I couldn't think of the guy, man. I need some more NBA games in my life, man. But now Raymond's right in the chat, man. This is the thing with this whole draft shit, man. People making trades and shit. You don't know who going to land where. But Sadiq Bey did end up going to Detroit, so he's going to be playing just opposite of what we were saying. He ain't gonna be there with the Nets. He's gonna be there with the sorry ass Pistons. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm real. So they traded. So they got Landry Shamet over there to the Nets. My guy Raymond, appreciate it. And it's so crazy, man, because these things. It's like, did y'all see the John Calipari come on and he's like, you gotta know he's going to the Knicks. And so the whole time they're still saying ESPN saying Oklahoma City. He still got it on the bottom of the screen. The guy even come back and say, hey, he's going to Oklahoma City. And then it's like, oh yeah, no. Then the proposed trade to the Knicks or whatever. So even John Calipari know more damn near than ESPN. It's like, you got to know he's going to the Knicks. I thought that was pretty crazy there, Jordan. But what do you think about the Cole Anthony, about what Junior said, my guy?
No, I love Cole Anthony, too. I think we're all in agreement on that, because if the Markelle Fultz experiment does not work, which, I mean, to all extents and purposes, it slowly is kind of working right now. But, I mean, this is a great plan also if it works too good and he ends up leaving, and then you have Cole Anthony right there as a starting point guard for the future. This is a great move for this team that's already built for the playoffs. Already has they're bringing back most of the band from last year. They're not going to have John Isaac this whole year, but still, I think that's a great player for them. He can learn, come off the bench initially, stay healthy, play a contributing role, score, dish, and then step into that starting point guard role maybe in year 2 or 3. I think if you're talking, he's not in the lottery. It was the first pick out of the lottery, but damn near the top 15. I think that's one of the best picks of the entire top 15, because like I said earlier, he was at one point, I think a senior year in high school, considered a top 5 lock at one point. So the fact that he fell to 15 just because of some inconsistency in college and being injured, the Magic got a great point guard there.
Got you. Yeah, I'm interested to see how some of these guys are going to look in the league, especially the ones that played overseas, like R.J. Hampton that decided to sit out of school and pretty much is going to work on his game against adult, players. They're not necessarily American players, but they're still professionals over there. So it'll be real interesting for me to see them up against NBA talent. You got guys like Desmond Bane coming out of TCU, Malachi Flynn, who are damn good players, man. So it's just going to be interesting to see how their game. That's my biggest thing, because some players are literally just for college. Like, their game is just a college game, but you got other players that's not necessarily, like, they could literally be coming off the bench off of a college team and then be a star in the NBA. Their game just transcends better. You got other players that you know what I'm saying, they workout ethic is different. So you get to the NBA and get to working out with these NBA players and become better. Others might not be able to handle it, man. It'll be real interesting for you see these guys go to these sorry teams, man, like Obi Toppin or like RJ Barrett last year going to the Knicks. It was like, are we going to see their full potential? That's always scary to me, man, because he could literally be a good player that'll go to a terrible team, Junior, and they like it hurts their production, man. It's scary to see, Junior. Who do you think that could possibly be that player this year, Junior? The player that, you know what I'm saying, we know is good, but the team they're going to might not just be the right fit for him. It could be the first or second round, brother.
The big man from USC that went to the Hawks. The Hawks just signed Capella from Houston. They got John Collins, who's probably going to play a small ball 5. Where's homeboy even going to really play, though? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess up his name. Onyeka Okongwu, LaMelo Ball's high school and Lonzo Ball's high school teammate, as a matter of fact. He looks like he could be a good player, but he's not really going to get that many minutes, man, because they just already have two like John Collins, if he can stay healthy, is a really, really good basketball player. We already know what Clint Capella is, so I don't really like a situation where you're a lottery pick and you're going to get buried on the bench. So hopefully they can find a role for him over there. But I think that not because of his talent, but because of the situation, that's the guy that I would point to in terms of, it's probably not the best fit for him as a basketball player.
That's the one I was thinking of too, Junior. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know when he was drafted, I was like, what the hell? But hey, that's their team. I was telling my girl last night, that's their team. They can do what the hell they want, man. But no, I didn't agree with it. What about you, Jordan? Any surprises that surprised you in a bad way?
I mean, I think you can probably say the same exact thing for the guy that got drafted ahead of Okongwu, like I think Junior mentioned earlier, and Isaac Okoro. It's like there comes a time when you got to stop rebuilding, and it seems like the Cavs are just perpetually rebuilding until LeBron comes back when he's 46 or something like that. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like they're moving in a direction of trying to be good anytime soon. That's probably not good for a high lottery pick who's got a lot of other young mouths to feed on that roster that they're probably just as into at this point in that tenure. But I would have said Obi Toppin, but the Knicks' new front office and coach, I think, waives that at least a little bit. I'm saying the same thing about the Bulls. At least I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But we know Toppin's a great player. It's just situationally, if they do keep what's his name, the guy we said needs to pack his bags. Julius Randle. If they do end up keeping Julius Randle, I think that could stunt Toppin's growth because he does seem like a guy that could either, Toppin does seem like the kid who could he's moved mountains before. He'll have no problem doing it in the pros. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised even if he isn't given the reins, because as we know, Tom Thibodeau hates rookies. I don't know if anybody's forgotten about that, so I don't think you should really be getting terribly excited about Obi Toppin's fantasy or sort of production value, I think, this year for the Knicks, because Tom Thibodeau will still lean on the veteran, especially if they keep Randle, than they will the young rookie. He's proven that time. He proved that time and again with the Bulls. He's a very much you got to earn it coach. He barely gave any of his rookies any playing time, so I would think that at least in the back of my mind, Toppin probably qualifies for that conversation as well. But yeah, there are some questionable ones. I like the ones. I like that one that you guys mentioned as well.
Hey, man, let me just say. Can I just say something just to double down on what Jordan just said? If you want to say that what's Obi Toppin's one weakness, it's moving his feet on defense. So with Tibbs as your coach,
get him right. He's gonna get him right on that.
He's gonna have zero. He's gonna have zero room for error. Tibbs is gonna bench his ass for 3 weeks. I guarantee you.
Man. Tibbs is gonna run that boy. Do y'all remember Tibbs? He playing that boy 46 minutes out of the 48 minutes in the game, man. And you can pretty much stop thinking about Randall there. He's out. He's not gonna be there. I can say that he's all but gone. I think they just pretty much trying to find him a team to go to. But no, Thibodeau, when he got there, that was one of his first things. Randall has to go. He has to go. And you start over from there, man. But yeah, Mitchell Robinson, he's a good young core piece. You don't want to trade him. You're going to need him. You let Randall go wherever he wants, man. You buy away from here, man. Let him go to the Pistons or somewhere, man. It's tough, but it's just crazy how, and you said something, Jordan, it was like, where these teams just they're not really even trying to win. It's just, How can you say it's tough for you? But you're exactly right.
I think the Hawks are trying to win.
It's like they don't even.
The Hawks are trying to win, though.
But Jordan, look, it's like the Kings. It's like you signed in Luke Walton, bro. Like seriously, like I mean, come on, bro. Are you guys trying? Do you want to win? Do you want to? They had a chance to make the playoffs this year. I feel like if they had a different coach, bro, they probably would have made the playoff. They had the talent over there.
Bro, first of all, they signed Buddy Hield to a long-term deal. Then the coach benches him. Then they try to trade the only other shooter they have in Bogdanovich. And now Buddy Hield is like, F all y'all. I don't even want to be here no more.
Yeah, well, like, Buddy Hield he just doesn't get along with them. Buddy Hield doesn't get. But I had to say this: once Buddy Hield came off the bench, the Kings actually started playing better. But Buddy Hield started playing better. So I can't say that. One thing I will say good about that was actually a good move there. I mean, but him butting head with Hield, that's never gonna go good. But Hield's finna be out of there anyway, so it didn't matter. Bogdanovich is already a free agent, so it's gonna be tough here for the Kings. But yeah, Walton, it starts there. I'm sorry cutting you off, Jordan. What you gonna say?
You're good. I was just saying I was going to give the Kings credit because Tyrese Halliburton is, I think, one of the better values of the lottery at 12. But I mean, other than that, their entire offseason has just been a joke at this point with the Bogdanovich sign and trade bot. So he's like, I didn't agree to this. It's technically tampering as well, by the way.
And why don't you want to go to the Bucks?
And that's a whole other question because he's been pissed that he wasn't getting like first option on offense type of looks. In Sacramento. He's a great. I love Bogdanovich, but I think his head's a little big right now. I think he's better. The best player, especially over De'Aaron Fox on that team. Like, let's be completely honest here. But yeah, if he's got to leave. Like he's like, I'm out of here. I can't get out of here fast enough.
He must have got confused and thought he was still playing with the national team. You get first option in Serbia, not in America, son.
But like, where he went? When I saw him that he wants to be a free agent, I'm like, bro, where are you going? You finna go to the Cavs? Like, bro, there's not many teams that you're finna go to, and you already shorted. They're like, you a baller, but come on, bro. I'm with you, Jordan. You get a little too ahead of yourself. You tell them you finna turn down the Bucks, and they finna compete for the East, bro.
Probably at a pretty good price too. Probably at a pretty good price. I mean, you had to think he was gonna make mid to high 8 figures too. I mean, to turn that down to go to a bad team, like
and lose.
And how many open shots is he going to get off Giannis, by the way? Like,
and that's what he's there for, to shine. Then you get deep in the playoffs, teams get good looks at you. Then if you want to go somewhere else, then you go and get your money. You see what I'm saying? But you got to prove yourself first. Proving yourself on the Kings was not it. And you said something there, Junior. You came there to be a shooter, bro. Like, I don't know. I really feel like that was a nice little fit. Drew Holiday, Bogdanovich, you know what I'm saying? Keeping Middleton, still having Lopez. That was a stacked lineup. And then Woj was like, oh, hold on. You know what I'm saying? They go through. That's going to bring us into the last segment here. Talk about some trades, man. Junior, it looks like you boys is almost finna get Kyrie down there. Say for a split second, the Nets was kind of shopping them to the Heat there. We know that Kemba Walker's been getting shopped. Kemba Walker and Gordon Hayward's being shopped for the Celtics. It's great. They talking about possibly doing a little who was they saying Andre Drummond might do a little swap with Drummond and somebody says I'm been hearing all type of trades, guys. What you thinking, Junior? Anything you hearing or some key trades you want to talk about?
Sorry, say that again. Any key trades that happened last night that I want to talk about?
No, any key trades, period. Another one, my guy, I'm here in Dallas, man, the Mavs. My guy Seth Curry, he's gone. Any guy that can go for 28 and a half, I'm gonna be sad to see him go. But I feel like Josh Richardson and Seth Curry kind of little even players, and we got a draft pick as well. So, but yeah, that's just one of the few trades, though. I was saying some rumors as well, Junior, that the Heat almost got Kyrie Irving for a split second last night.
Well, I actually really want to touch on the Josh Richardson thing, though, because if you look at the way that Dallas's lineup is put together, he's like the one kind of player they don't have.
Yeah,
a dude who's a lockdown wing defender who I wouldn't call him a 3-and-D guy because his 3-point shot is pretty inconsistent. But if you're playing off Luka, you're probably going to get a lot better looks than you're used to. So I think that's actually a plus move. Like, you don't want to lose the shooting. But I think Josh Richardson is a more versatile player than Seth Curry because you have to hide Seth Curry in certain situations. Josh Richardson could guard 1, 2s, and 3s. So in terms of Dallas making that step to become a better team, I actually think that that's a really, really under the radar move. It's a big, big move for them, in my opinion. Speaking of big moves for a person, not a team, If I'm Luke Kennard and I wake up today and I'm on the Clippers instead of the Pistons, I'm doing all kinds of different dances.
Oh yeah.
I live in
Nah, for
LA.
real.
I don't live in Detroit. I'm like, yeah, but yeah, son. I live in LA. I don't live in Detroit. I play for a championship team instead of bums. He's loving life because Luke Kennard, low key, he's gonna get minutes on that Clippers team because they don't have a player like him. Look at his numbers. When the Pistons were really struggling, when everybody was going down with injuries, it was Derrick Rose and Luke Kennard holding that team together. So I think that he's in the perfect situation on the Clippers where all he has to do is make a couple open shots and be a facilitator off the bench probably. He's loving life right now. But other than those two moves, we all hear the same rumors. I don't want to see Harden in Brooklyn, me personally. Horford. What do y'all think about Horford?
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on real quick, Jordan. I wanted to touch on that Harden because to say the Celtics looked really deep into getting more info about Harden, and they were advised to stay far away from him. So they did. Just a little quick info is the reason why don't nobody want Harden, right? I mean, I know that wouldn't have worked out with the Nets anyway. I mean, stop it, man. Come on, bro. Not in 1 or 2 years. He doesn't play defense. You better take that $103 million real quick. I don't know if it's still on the table. But
how are you going to go to the Celtics playing that kind of defense?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
And the Celtics would have had to give up Jaylen Brown. And I mean, there's no way if you're Houston, you wouldn't ask for at least him and lots of other assets included in that deal. I just don't think that's a good deal. Jaylen Brown last year looked like his stock is still very steadily rising, and it's pretty amazing that he's gotten to this point. It still looks like he has room to get better. I would never do that deal if I'm the Celtics. I think the Rockets are in probably the toughest spot of any team right now because it seems like they have one contract that they're going to have to shed assets to get rid of in Russell Westbrook, and another one that it doesn't seem like the price is anywhere near what they thought it was going into this offseason, thinking, hey, if we do blow it up, what could we get for James Harden? I don't envy them whatsoever. The rest of the West is getting better rapidly, and they look like a team that is just better off just I mean, it's going to get rough, but they're going to have to start selling off eventually because it doesn't look like they're going to be anywhere close to contention anytime soon with the way this offseason is going. I do want to mention one thing that we just touched on. So I think the two biggest winners last night in trades were absolutely the Sixers and the Clippers. Clippers, for obvious reasons, what Junior was just talking about in Kennard. I think that's a steal of value. That whole trade was great for all three involved because I forgot what we mentioned is that the Pistons got Sadiq Bey in that pick and got Rodney Magruder, and then the Nets get Landry Shamet. I think all three teams got something they needed in that deal. So it's probably, I think, of the best trade of the night. I think that one's it. And then the Sixers did exactly what they needed to do last night. I have to give the Sixers new management and Daryl Morey and everybody there a lot of credit because not only did they flip Horford for an asset they can use right now and something they desperately needed in veteran shooting and championship experience in Danny Green. Yeah, they had to give up a couple picks for. Who cares? Whatever. You're going for it now. There's going to be late picks anyways. Have to give the Sixers credit because they also got in Seth Curry, another ball handler who can also shoot, who can take pressure and let Ben Simmons do what I think he's better at is playing off the ball. Absolutely, the Sixers one of the biggest winners of last night. I think that fans there after really just having a couple of years where you've probably been just gutted by the results. I think there should be a lot of room for optimism in Philadelphia right now.
Exactly. I was thinking Seth Curry might have to go over there and be the starting point guard right now. Ben Simmons is not the answer. I know Doc Rivers is smart enough to not put Ben Simmons back at the point guard. I think he's smart enough to do that. But Junior, and it's another thing. Yeah, we had to talk about that as well. Al Horford to the Thunder, man. His sister's taking a whole lot of slander. Man, them Philly fans don't got no chill, man. But we ain't gonna even get into that. But they slandering. But Horford, yep, over there with OKC now, 76ers making moves, man, making moves, and it's pretty crazy because like like you said, what are the Rockets gonna do? Harden and Westbrook don't want to play together. So what I think is like one of them will go and then one of them will stay. It seems like this Harden really wants out. It has to be him, but Westbrook wants his own team. So if Harden leaves, Westbrook, they don't leave the door open for Westbrook to stay. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That makes a whole lot of sense. But who wants Harden? You don't play a whole lot of defense. You want to shoot the ball 50 times a game, bro. No, it's not going to work with the Nets. It's not going to work with the Celtics. Who could you go to be a contender? You can't, like you say, Jordan, you can't trade because then they're not going to be a contender anymore after you give up some pieces. But Junior, any other thoughts on some trades? What you think about that Al Horford getting him off that contract as well? We know it's a terrible fit with Joel Embiid.
I have so many thoughts running through my head about things that you guys have just said, bro, that I don't even know where to begin.
Wherever you want to go, my guy.
Let it fly, bro.
We're already at 34, so I'll be super quick. Number one, I feel like Russell. We remember there was a time that we thought that Chris Paul was the most untradeable piece in the NBA. I think Russell Westbrook is by far the most untradeable person in the NBA, bro, because he gives you that false hope that you're going to be better. But are you, though? Are you really going to be better by bringing this guy on your team? I don't know. James Harden, I'm not sure what to say about James Harden because I don't think that James Harden cares about winning basketball games. I think James Harden cares about what James Harden cares about, but it ain't winning. That's for sure.
He turned down the money. He turned down the money, Junior. It gotta be.
He turned down the money for a couple of reasons. Number one, his boy Daryl Morey and his boy, the biggest enabler in the history of NBA coaches, Mike D'Antoni, is not allowing him to do. Essentially, if you just, Jordan's a numbers guy, so Jordan can back up what I'm saying. Essentially, James Harden is the biggest hog in NBA history. I know he averages 10 assists a game, but if you have the ball every single time on every single possession for like 90% of the possession, you're gonna get assists just because. I think that the way that he plays basketball is not suited to any team that wants to win, so he has to make a decision. Am I going to go back to OKC Harden? OKC Harden used to play off the ball, he used to cut to the basket, he used to play within the system. If he does that, then he's a huge asset. But if he's going to do this monkey foolishness that he's been doing for the Rockets, then he's going to go home early every round. So, and as for Al Horford, he's just like Danny Green. They're both corpses. I don't really care about either one of these guys.
Man, you don't think Danny Green could help?
Man,
you don't think Danny Green could help a little bit off the bench?
I'm not a fan of Danny Green.
From what we saw in the finals, I think your answer would be no. But just body of work experience.
No, but 2 straight finals, right? Because he was trash for the Raptors too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very true. Good point. They got rid of the contract. That was the biggest problem. One thing I do want to mention about the Harden Westbrook thing. I thought, take this moment for me. I'll be quick. Just step in with me to the Jamie with J Money time machine. Let's go back about 4 or 5 years, I think, where the Bulls had Jimmy Butler, Rajon Rondo, and Dwayne Wade all on the same team, right? And we thought, there's no way this is going to work. And they made the playoffs, right? But I think when it comes to ball hogs, the combination of Westbrook and Harden together is even worse than just those 3 guys in that system. And that's just saying something of how bad of a position the Rockets are in right now, just simply because, like I said, they're going to have to give up a first, if not 2 firsts, to get off the Russell Westbrook deal. I don't think any team is going to be stupid enough to not ask for a couple picks in return for that. And that means you're going to have less in net return for James Harden if you ship him out too, because his stock price is decreasing right now. It's just like the Rockets have backed themselves into a huge corner. Daryl Morey could not have gotten out at the more perfect time.
And that's what I was going to say. Morey and D'Antoni are gone. Both of them are gone. It's a whole new system now. And I know the new coach coming in like, hold on, what? Everybody's saying all this shit. We still can't forget about the house incident. So it's all type of stuff going on in Houston, man. So it's like, but I'm going to say this one more thing. Westbrook fits for, I know I talk about the Knicks a lot. He's okay with being on a sorry team, being that best player, getting every rebound in sight. He fits best on the Knicks. Why isn't Russell Westbrook on the Knicks? It's a big market team. He's okay with losing, being the best player, getting his triple-double records. because it's like an OKC, pretty much just like surround everybody else around him and just go out there and play. That's what Westbrook seems like he's comfortable at. I feel like it works out for both parties, the Knicks and him. And then it can leave it open for Harden to, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and take that $103 million for 2 years, go ahead and stay there, be mediocre, and I mean it is be the ball hog of the team. That's like the Rockets is the only team that James Harden is going to fit on, in my opinion. Like the only team, bro. So that's the only way that I can see. What was you gonna say, Junior, before we get out of here, bro? It's like we got a lot to say about that, the Westbrook Harden shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just think that we're not looking as deep into the Harden thing as we should be, because I just think that a lot of people want to get away from that owner in Houston. He doesn't get along with a lot of people. We remember the infamous quote, "Shut up and dribble." From Homegirl on Fox News. Well, this dude has a book called Shut Up and Listen. So, like, I don't really need to go any further into that. I just think that there's players on that team that want to get far away from him. Daryl Morey wanted to get far away from him. There's also rumors that he's starting to go broke because he's in the hotel business. So there's just a lot of craziness happening within the Rockets organization behind the curtain. So I think there's more to him wanting to get out of there than just basketball reasons.
Well, I can't wait till the season starts, because I mean, when I tell you the Rockets are going to be, so I mean, they was already just not too bad of a fade, but oh my God, I mean, talking about the turmoil is real, Jordan. There's just the Rockets are just
and they are
shambles right now.
Dude, they are, and they already started the sell-off. Lest we forget, before the draft, they traded Robert Covington to the Blazers.
Exactly.
They already have started this. It's inevitable. The chips, the dominoes have already been pushed into motion of this. It's just a matter of what the prices that they're going to get back for these assets that they thought they were going to get, and they're not going to be definitely as good as they thought. Also, I'm going to make that as one of also something we haven't talked about, but also one of the better low-key trades that we've seen so far. The Blazers getting Robert Covington, absolutely huge for their wing defense, which was, and as Junior liked to say last year, their forwards were straight trash. We cannot say that anymore about the Portland Trail Blazers.
Exactly.
Huge move for that team.
Yeah, it hurt me for the Rockets when I saw that. But you know what I'm saying? Like you said, Jordan, that should be that, you know what I'm saying? That should be an eye-opener for everybody. If they traded Robert Covington, we know they finna clean house, and this is probably finna be one of the sorriest teams in the league, man. I can't wait. The Mavs, we finna smash their ass every time. It's gonna be lovely. But hey, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be ready for the season. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some more shows here before as the season is about to begin. So, but this will be the last one for a while till we have some huge trade rumors or something like that, man. Or until you guys call me and tell me y'all want me to come back on with y'all, man. But you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be back. But any closing words, Junior Brown, until next time, my guy?
Yeah, I can't wait for this to get started. Can we stop the load management talk, guys? Just be happy that you get to earn millions upon millions of dollars while other people can't even go to work. I don't want to say shut up and dribble, so I'm gonna say shut up and get paid. How about that?
Exactly. Millions.
Yeah, a lot of money.
You see Doc Rivers, Jordan, say, "Oh, real quick," or you're gonna see him real quick. They don't like that their early start. So I hate to say it, but it's gonna be even more of that.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean,
LeBron might take the first month off, bro.
We saw a lot of that in baseball too. Like, I mean, you're just gonna see the veterans take a little bit of time, and maybe not play a little bit till after Martin Luther King Day. You know, it's okay. It's not gonna be the end of the world. Just don't go crazy handicapping those early games. Also, one thing I have to mention, Stu just broke. It was confirmed. Clay Thompson suffered a torn Achilles. Prayers up for him and his family, man. That's just a devastating news. It's the worst that he's gone through now a knee reconstruction and now has to deal with an Achilles tear right before he was about to play. That takes the Warriors' trajectory and the window. To be honest, it shuts that window. I really can't even see them challenging for a championship without Klay Thompson. Maybe they'll surprise me and be pretty good and above expectations and hence a pretty good bet this upcoming year. But man, that's just gutting. That's one of the worst. That's one of the worst breaks I've ever seen for a guy who's like superstar in his prime right now. Other than D Rose, maybe I can't think of one.
And super dedicated as well, man. Super dedicated into his craft. You know, he was doing everything to get back, and then tear his Achilles on the opposite. It's tough, bro. I know he's sitting there. I know I would be sitting there feeding my face, man. And I'd be gassing up like it ain't no tomorrow, man. I feel for him. It's tough, man. It's tough, man. Everybody got their problems, though. I was one thing I say. Everybody got their problems. We'll be back. We'll be back, man. The beginning of the season, like my guy George said, the first little month there could possibly they're gonna get their own preseason in. You better believe that. But we definitely still gonna try to find some plus money plays, some value plays, some good odds, all that, man. Y'all know what we do over here, Jam with J Money. Try to get some cash, man. Talking NBA from day, you know what I'm saying, tonight if we can, but we'll definitely be back. We appreciate all you guys for tuning in. You make sure you stick with us, even though it's a little grace period there, and hit the like button as well if you like the content, man. We appreciate y'all for jamming with J Money.